In today's video, I'm going to be setting up my reading journal for the month of September, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Tracy and I am a girl with plants. So yes, we are going to be setting up for the month of September. But before we get to that, I got to do a brief recap of the month of August. I think I'm going to refrain from giving you my opinions on the books until I'm doing my actual monthly setup, and maybe I'll do that in a voiceover. So we'll see. I do want to show you how I was doing this and how things have changed as far as how I'm filling in my reviews and my journal. So for the first quarter, actually a little bit more than a quarter, almost the first half of the year, I was doing 4 to a page like this. But I also was doing like 1-page spreads for a few of my favorites. So this is how I was doing. I really like the lines. So I wasn't doing any decorating or anything like that, but the lines really do make it look cute. And then in May, June, I switched it up to this where I was doing half-page spreads. So I had more space to write my reviews. And with that, I also had more space to add some stickers. So that's what I did there. And then for August, I had one space left, so I just went ahead and filled in that one. But then I switched to this, and I really like this. This is a super clean look. Basically, I come in here, I fill everything in, and then I add stickers. So I add stickers after the fact to kind of fill in any kind of blank spots or pieces. I do think I'm going to try to move, like over here is where I put like how long it took me to read the book, how many pages and things like that. I kind of want to move this over here so that way I can write all the way over. So I think that's one change I'm going to make this coming month. But other than that, it's fine. For most of this is plenty of space. I did struggle a little bit with the hunted air because I needed a little bit more room, but it actually worked out in the end. I was getting nervous. But yeah, and most of the stickers I used this month are from Martinez Sticker Company. I print them out myself, but they're also tangibles. I am an affiliate for Martinez Sticker Company. All of the companies I rep for, I have my discount codes and links down in the description box because I'm also an affiliate for Archer and Olive, which is where I got the notebook from, and from Liv Love Posh, which is where this one set of stickers came from, plus the stickers I'll be using today. All right, so let's quickly go to August. And let's fill in the stats. So, I read a total of 26 days. So, I'll write that here. Wait a minute, isn't there 31 days? Oh, I didn't do enough days this month. Okay, yeah, there were 31 days in August. There's 30 days in September, but 30, okay. So 26 of 31 days. All right, so I listened to one audiobook. I did not do any Kindle, and no physical, and everything else was on my Kindle. I will say, we'll see how much room I have here, because there's another stat that I kind of want to start tracking. All right, so then the number of pages, I have everything written off to the side. So I read a total, I finished a total of 6 books, but I'm like, at the end of the month, I was almost halfway through my 7th book. I thought I was going to be able to finish it because it's such a good book, but I'm not. So I will count that as a finished book next month. So none of that's going to be in the stats. I'm not even going to count the pages. I really wanted to count the pages and be like, how many pages I read this month versus next month, but it gets so confusing because I did that last month. So in the month of July, I had started reading Between. And that's like 1,000-page book. And I'll chat about that when I do my setup for for September. So it's a 1,000-page book. So I read half of it. I read 574 pages of Between. So then this month, I added the rest of the pages to my reads because I finished it. So my total number of pages, which was for 6.5 books, I'm not doing that again because that got really confusing. It's going to be 2,108 pages. And then I listened to one audiobook that was 12 hours and 48 minutes. Okay, so I was all over the place with my stars. I ended up giving out 2 3.5 stars, 1 3.75 stars, 1 3, 1 4.5, and 1 4. And I'm actually thinking one of those 3.5s need to go down to a 3, but we're just going to leave it. So it was an average of 3.7. Okay. So I had 4 books that were rated between a 3 and a 3.75 stars. That's how I'm going to do it. Okay. Then I had 2 books that was rated between a 4 and a 4.5 stars. And the reason why I'm doing it like that, now I do Storygraph. Storygraph allows you to do quarters and half stars. However, if you do Goodreads, which I also do, you can't. You have to do full stars. So I just figured it's fine to do it like that. I did not DNF any book. So 0's DNF. But I am 1 incomplete. Right, like that. Which is just incomplete because I didn't have enough time to finish it. For genres, I need to write that somewhere too. I don't know if that's enough space. So when we talk about genres, everything I read was an offshoot of romance. So I'm a fantasy girl, but a lot of the fantasy books are now fantasy romance or romantasy. And it's like, are they more on the romance or more on the fantasy? I don't know. I also read a couple of dark romances, I think, and then a couple of paranormal romance. So I'm going to divide them up that way just because it makes it easier. And I think I might actually use this. So we're going to do paranormal romance. We're going to say I read 2. And that was Bride and Unnatural Magic. Yeah, Unnatural Magic. Then I read, I guess I would say 3 romantices. It's funny because the paranormal romance, I'm going to put urban paranormal romance. It could also be urban romantasy, but they were both set in like urban environments. So it wasn't like a fantasy world. That's kind of why I wanted to separate them from romantasy, because the romantases I read were in a fantasy world. So it wasn't like a world that was like here. Like Bride is pretty much, it's kind of set in a similar world as ours. I mean, of course you have like different beings and stuff. And then the Unnatural Magic was also in a similar world where they're humans and everybody is just all together. And then I read one, and I'm going to just say it's like a dark romance, but I'm going to say mafia romance. Is that everything? Yeah, that's 5. Okay. All right. So my favorite book was Bride. Yes, it was. My least favorite, it's because I'll have 2 that's tied if I end up lowering one. It wasn't the worst. Like my least favorite is a 3, and for me a 3 stars is okay. That means I didn't feel like I wasted my time reading it. I'm okay with reading it. It just wasn't a wow moment. I'm probably going to forget a lot of the things that happened in it type thing. And it's between, but that was just super long. It started out so good. But I have to say it because it was just too long. And I want to put a quote here, but I have to find a quote. So I'm going to put a quote here, but I'm going to have to like write one down. I do have this like little book. You guys might have saw if you watch multiple videos on my channel where I did an unboxing of the journal junk box, and this little notebook was in it, and it's just like regular paper in it, so I really can't use it for any type of like creative journaling, but I've been using this to take notes when I'm reading books. It's actually become very, very helpful. All right, so I think that's everything. So actually I had enough space to do everything. All right, so Burn of the Everflame, I always put that on my TBR as like a new release. I think Goldfinch is actually this month. Okay. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna go ahead and switch to September. So I've already done the calendar. Here's the calendar. Like, I use these stencils. It's just like a journaling stencil set I picked up off of Amazon. Just wanted to see what it looks like. So you can see I've been kind of playing around with how I'm going to do the actual calendar as far as location. So like last month, I put it on this page and kind of made a cover page of sorts over here. In the previous months, I was doing it over here. Even at the beginning of the year, I had it flipped. So I've been kind of trying to figure out what works. I don't really need a lot of space because I do the dots to indicate what books I'm currently reading versus anything else. So I'm fine there. But I was like, let's do it centered. And then I'll have the books I'm reading over here. I'll do like a little TBR list, which really isn't a TBR, but it's kind of. Basically, it's books that if I'm kind of like at a loss for what to read next, I'll pop in here and use this. I'm a mood reader, so I kind of read whatever I'm feeling. And then we'll just decorate. Then we're going to decorate this page and either add stamps or boxes or draw. Maybe I'll draw boxes this month because I don't really feel like getting out the stamps. So maybe I'll do something like that. So I'm going to be using this set from Liv Love Posh. As I said, my discount code and link will be down in the description box. My discount code will save you 10%. I think it would be cool to do the house over here. Because I don't think I'm going to need tons of room. Especially over here. My TBRs are really short. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to speed it up. It's going to depend on how much I have to talk about. But I'm going to do a voiceover and chat a little bit about the books I read for the month of August. And then I'll come back and we'll chat about the TBR. All right, so the first book that I completed in the month of August is There's No Place Like Oz by Leanne Bell. This is a very, very dark, why choose, I guess, fairy tale retelling. So yeah, it is based on The Wizard of Oz. And this is, I haven't read too many fairy tale retellings. I've read a few, Peter Pan ones. But this one, it was really easy to get into and understand because the world is pretty much what we know from The Wizard of Oz. Your main character actually, there's a storm and she ends up in Oz, and you have the Munchkins, you have the Scarecrow, you have the Tin Man, you have the Tiger, you have all the witches, and then you have the wizard. So it's set up in a way where you don't, you already know the world. So now you're just kind of learning the characters, which are very different than what we know of. They're all dark. Every last one of them are very dark. It is spicy. It is violent. Definitely check the trigger warnings. But it was a fun read. I really enjoyed it. I kind of was surprised that I enjoyed it. The only reason why I even picked this book up was because I am doing the Buzzword Reading Challenge. And the challenge for August was to find a book with the title with the word like in the title. And this one pops up and I thought it sounded interesting. I'm like, let's give it a try. It wasn't super long. Well, it's 389 pages. So I guess it's not super long for the fantasy books I typically read, but I guess that's generally kind of an average book length. But I enjoyed it. I got this off of Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, like I said, I rated this one 3 3/4 stars. And I say the spice is probably at a 4. Okay, so then the next book was a book that I started reading in July. I read half the book in July, and it's like literally 2 books in one. Like there is a new like prologue, and it like you're like, oh, it's starting like almost another book within this one. And like the first part was like 600 pages, and like the second part was like 500 pages. So it is long. It's very long. The first part is told from the female, it's like the female main character's point of view. It's a very cozy. You have like, she has her sidekick, her best friend, who kind of gives you that like comic relief. I love that in a book. Like there's fantasy, there's like witches, and then there's like these magical creatures that show up every once in a while. So you have that element of it. But a lot of the first part takes place in like the real world. And then like when she dreams, she goes into this other world. We don't really know a lot about these other worlds through her point of view, because she doesn't know a lot. When we get to the second half or the second part of the book, that's kind of where we get a little bit more into this other world, and we're like learning it from the male main character's point of view. So now we're in a fantasy world. I just didn't enjoy it, and I think I might have enjoyed it if this was a completely separate book, because I would have finished the first book and be like, oh, that was awesome, and then I probably would have taken a longer break before I picked up the second book, and I probably would have been more ready to read it that way. But when it's part of one book, you feel like you just need to continue it. And that's what I did. And I just was kind of over it. I was like over it after reading like the first chapter and the second part. It was just way too long. It had completely different vibes. And I think that was another problem with it. Like the first part, I give like 4 stars. The second part, I gave 2 stars. So this was a 3-star read. This was also Kindle Unlimited. And like I said, it took me about a month to actually finish it. The third book I completed, I actually listened to on audio, and it was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is my first Ali Hazelwood book. The only reason why I listened to it is it was like the only version that was available immediately at my library. So I got it through the audio on the Libby app. I loved it. I love the audio. So I do highly recommend the audio, but I really, really like this book. Because this kind of takes place in the world as we know it, it's just you have vampires and werewolves in this world. It wasn't hard to understand. Like there really wasn't much world building. We just had to learn about the characters, their backgrounds, and things like that. This is a romance. So it's a very slow burn romance, but that is going to be the focus of it. It's an arranged marriage, and that is the focus of the story. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was really sweet. I really liked it. I mean, everything in it isn't cute and sweet, but overall, that was kind of my impressions. And I gave this one 4.5 stars, which is a really high rating for me because I rarely give things over 4 stars. And this one I really did. So the next book I also picked to add, because I was missing some alphabets in my A to Z challenge, and I needed a U. And this one, it fit perfectly. It was Unnatural Magic. Again, never heard of it. It's by Stasia Stark. She is also the author of a series that I completed a few months ago, Kingdom of Lies series. The first book is A Court This Cruel and Lovely. Highly recommend that book. Did not love them as they went on, but I do like her writing overall. This book was free on Kindle, so I just downloaded it free, and I meant to read it later, but then I was like, oh, this fits the A to Z challenge. Let's read it now. I really like this book too. I gave this one 4 stars. So you have like supernatural beings, you have a witch, werewolves. It's really cool. Their female main character, she kind of has this like investigative detective type agency, and then there is a slow burn romance between her and a werewolf. So you have that dynamic going on. Very, very slow burn though. I just thought it was a fun read. Again, this story takes place in like an urban environment that is very similar to our own world. So there's really not much world building, which makes it kind of easy to get into right from the jump. So yeah, this one I also recommend. The next one is The Emperor. That is book 3 in the Dark Verse series by Runyx, Runyx. I really enjoyed books 1 and 2. They are following a couple, and then this book, and I believe the next book follows another couple who happen to be my favorite characters, by the way, Amara and Dante. I was so excited for this book, but I was so disappointed. I had expectations because I liked both of these characters, and I just felt like the relationship, the storyline, it just disappointed me so much, but not too much. Still gave it 3.5 stars, because the overall plot is still intriguing, and I'm going to continue reading it. But I just was so disappointed in their love story. I just didn't feel it. I didn't connect with it. I'm hoping it picks up in the next book, but it also was super fast. Maybe that's why I didn't connect with it, because it kind of told the backstory and then jumped to present toward the end. So that may be another reason why I didn't connect with it as much. And then the final read that I finished is The Hunted Heir by Holly Renee. This is the second book in the Veiled Kingdom. The first book, oh my gosh, did I give the first book 4.5 or 5? It was really close to 5 stars. It was so enjoyable. Loved everything about it. That cliffhanger, perfect. This book, oh my gosh. It's like, is it a 2.5 stars? Is it a 3 stars? Is it a 3.5 star? I think it's closer to the 3. I did give it 3.5, but I'm second guessing it, even at this moment. There just wasn't anything there. It picked up right where the first book left off, but there was nothing there. There was no plot, there was no character building, there was no excitement, there was no anticipation. Anytime anything exciting started happening, it ended. So it was like super rushed, but super slow at the same time, because there was no plot progression, but it was rushed. I mean, this book was 242 pages. So yeah, I felt like it was a filler book to get us to the next book is pretty much all it was. Didn't enjoy it, but I still like this world, or I still like the actual overall story. So I'm going to continue reading it. But yeah, I was a little disappointed with that one. So that one, like I said, is kind of probably going to land on 3 stars after all is said and done. But there we go. Those are the 6 books I finished this month. I am reading a really good book now that I will tell you all about next month. It's The Order of the Scorpions. So good. Right now I'm like 65% through. And could it be 5 stars? I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's get back to finishing up this spread, and then we'll go over my TBR, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, there we go. So I'm leaving these boxes blank because I need to do a genre tracker. But I don't really want to do that before I finish the month, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I did fill out the ratings, even though I might have all 3-star ratings, nothing over 3.75, but at least I can mark it 0. And then, like I said, one of these boxes would be genres. If I read a lot of one genre and less of another, we'll see how it goes. And then that gives me an extra box. The one thing I've been wanting to do, I don't know if I have any room over here. No, but it's fine. I want to do Kindle Unlimited, Libby, and Spotify. I want to track those. I'm definitely going to be tracking those next year. I think I'm going to end up tracking those as like part of one of my other trackers. So like if I'm doing like a reading goal, I'll color code it maybe by where I got the book from, because I definitely want to see how many books I'm getting from the library versus like paid memberships, just to kind of see if I can I really do without like Kindle Unlimited? Probably not, but it's something to see. But I like how it turned out. I just randomly use this as fall elements. So there's like a lot of just random elements in here. So I thought it looked kind of cute. I'm like, I don't need to make it like make sense. Like a bookcase can be up here, a random door can be here. I can put all the girls on the spread. This is more of a scene. And I do want to draw here. I think this is where I'm going to do my log. So this is going to be my reading log. Y'all, I'm like anywhere between a 3 to 9 book reader, but this gives me space to write large. And some book titles are very, very long. So that's why the book is, I just want to fill up the space. So, and then over here is going to be my TBR, which we'll go over that in a second. And then I will end this video because it's probably longer than I intended. Okay, so this is going to be my reading log. I do have stamps, but it's fine. Maybe I should change it up every so often. This is going to be, we're just calling it my TBR. I don't really like TBR. And this is new releases. Okay. So for my TBR, so I have started yet another reading challenge. I'm not tracking it in this journal because I don't really have enough room. I'm thinking about actually creating a new journal, a new reading journal that's just going to have some of the longer or ongoing reading challenges in it. And the one that I'm going to be doing is the Magical Readathon. Book Roast is the one that hosts that, so you can definitely check out her channel on YouTube. She goes into it in depth. It is a really fun readathon. I've never been into like Dungeons and Dragons or anything, but like you create a character, your character goes on a quest, and in order to like reach the school, you have to like do some reading prompts, and once you finish it, that's how you reach it. I'm going to do that later because the fall semester starts in September. It's supposed to be like a 1-month reading challenge. I'm going to make it 2 months. I only have like 5 books to read. But you kind of go for like how like you pick a area of study and then it tells you what to read. So I think I only have 5 or 6. I think it's 6 books to read, but I already have other books that I kind of want to read. So I'm like, you know, a semester is actually longer than a month. So I'm just going to make it 2 months. It's my, you know, it's my reading challenge. I can make the rules however I want to see fit. But the reason why I do reading challenges is because they make me, one, maybe choose books to read that I would not have actually read. And 2, they also kind of help me as being a mood reader. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to read next. And it's nice to have like a list of options instead of just looking at all the books in Kindle and being completely lost. So this helps narrow it down. And I have like some ideas here. Like I said, I absolutely love this. This little notebook for jotting my ideas down about my reading. So the books I want to read is this one actually came and it's already on my Kindle library. In my Libby app. It's the Jasad Air. That's like Egyptian type thing, so that's good. How Does It Feel? That's what I'm going to read for the Buzzword Challenge. Probably a book I would have never read if it wasn't for that challenge, but hey, it's part of the challenge. Avalon Tower. That is another one that I'm reading to complete the ABC or the A to Z challenge because the A. But I think this one will also fill a prompt in the Magical Readathon challenge because it kind of does have a night sky. It's like a moon behind the thing, so it has to be the night sky, right? And then I think I want to listen to The Spell Shop. Because one of my prompts for the Magical Readathon is like steal from another TBR. And I saw it on a few TBR lists. I'm like, let's do that one. And then I don't want to write too many. Okay, I want to read The Finisher. That is part of the Dark Verse series. I need to finish some series, y'all. I need to finish some series. And then I'll just put this on here. Maybe I'll go ahead and try Quicksilver. We'll see. I guess I have some more room, so let's write a couple of more. Obviously, I'm not going to read all of these books, but it's nice just to have a list somewhere to kind of go back to if I never want to see it. If I don't know what I want to read, I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, this book, it comes out this month. It's Phantasma. I saw it because I think it's in a book box. And it looked really cool, and then I read it. I'm trying to definitely get into some of the like fall spooky vibes. And then this one, some of these might end up going on October's because some of these I really want to read like September or October. So Noctadia, that's another. Both of these are kind of like dark academia. All right. Oh, new releases. I think it's called Blackened Bond. Blackened's Blade was amazing. And this one is supposed to come out on 9/30, I think. All right. And then my reading log, I can already add one. So I guess we'll do pink, oranges, greens. All right. So I'll put these in like a little pen holder, a pen case, like right here, to kind of like keep them aside so I can know where they are. But that should be enough colors to get me started. So let's start with, let's just start with green. All right, and I am still reading The Order of the Scorpions. Oh my goodness, this is so good. I hope it does not get worse. I have like 35% left. All right, guys, so there we go. I like how it turned out. Super duper cute. Again, I used fall elements from Liv Love Posh. This, I think, came from a random Hobby Lobby sticker book, but everything else came from Liv Love Posh. Super cute. Loved how it turned out. So yeah, there we go. So I do these reading journal setup videos once a month. Definitely, if you're into this kind of stuff, be sure probably the end of the year is probably when I'm going to start doing my setup. Obviously, I'll probably do a bunch of different setups of my reading journal because you can see I take a lot of time to do it, even though I use stickers. But I have a lot of cool ideas, so that should be fun. And, the end of the year isn't that long away. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. And if you enjoyed this video, definitely remember to hit that like button as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.